Placido Domingo is here at the age of 61. He has given over 3,000 performances on opera stages throughout the world. He serves as the artistic director for both the Washington and Los Angeles operas. He is currently performing in the Metropolitan Opera's production of Andrea Chenier. His latest CD is called Sacred Songs. Here he is performing Ave Maria with Norwegian singer Sissel. I am pleased to welcome Placido Domingo back to this table. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
Someone said to me just today, someone you know said, I don't know when you, Pavarotti, Carreras leave the stage, there is anyone like them ready to step in and be what they have been to the world of opera.
Wow, that's quite an statement.
So you can't leave.
No. Well, the thing is this, certainly people is loyal to certain artists, and I think we have, between the three of us, I think we gave a lot. And I mean, we're still giving, you know, and I'm completely active in the world of opera, and so now and then we do some concerts. But the fact is that...
And you conduct occasionally?
Yes, that's right. But it takes more than being simply a tenor. I think the fact, and I can assure you that, I mean, even though we have been in this generation, or the past generation, we have been the three tenors, I'm convinced that there are many, many tenors, and this is a brilliant generation of tenors coming. But which I admire them very much, by the way. And just now at the Met, just to give an example, is singing Juan Diego Flores, which is a tenor from Peru, you know. And he is spectacular. He is a light tenor, Rossini tenor, and you know, Bellini, Donizetti, but with such a joy for singing, and it's a beautiful voice. And there are many. I say it like Juan Diego, then they're coming out now, and then there are great possibilities. But what it makes the place that you have in the career is decided by the public, you know. It's the public that all of a sudden goes to one performance, another, and then they pick what they call their personalities, the people that has charisma somehow for the public. So I'm convinced that Juan Diego is going to be one, you know, I mean, he certainly has it. But it's the public that then makes the career of the artists, and in fact enlarge the careers of the artists, because they have good memory of all what they have done, and they are loyal, and they want to see them more and more.
Two things about you that I'd forgotten, didn't remember. One is, while born in Spain, when you were 8 years old, you moved to Mexico.
Right, yes.
Your father was a singer, was he?
Yes, and my mother too.
And your mother too?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Second is that you were a baritone, and you sort of added slowly, one by one, day by day.
Yes, I
you
remember.
Expanded.
Yeah, I think that the last time we were talking about that. Yes, and little by little, I expanded the tessiture to be able to sing all the most difficult repertoire, you know, of operas. I'm just approaching my 120th role. And definitely I was coming, I don't know if I was a tenor or if I was a baritone, but I didn't have it easy. You know, most of the tenors, they start with all the complete tessiture, you know. By the way, tessiture, for the people that they don't understand about music, is not anything to do with the internet or computers, you know.
Right.
The tessiture, it means if you go from this sound to that sound. You know, you can go from to you know, whatever it is. You know, so you have to go up. So that's the tessiture.
Right. You don't go from here to
no. So you build half step by half step. For me, it was very hard, very difficult, and
it was difficult.
Yeah. And I'm convinced that little by little, the voice is going to go back to the origin, you know, so I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't sing as a baritone many roles. I might do one or two at the end of my career, but I don't plan to continue making a career as a baritone, but just for fun to do, for instance, a role that I love very much, which is Simón Bocanegra, you know, the baritone is Simón Bocanegra. I might do it for fun, but I'm convinced that the voice goes back to the origin, you know. Yeah.
But once you build it up to that level, I mean, it stays at that level until...
It stays at that level until logically you use it. I mean, I have used my voice for 40 years now.
Yeah.
You know, 40 years.
That's a kind of attrition.
You know, see, and I'm still doing, you know, a great amount of tenor roles, you know. So
what can't you do now? Is there anything that you think that you have done? I mean, the last time you did Otello, La Scala.
Yes, that's right.
I don't know whether you collapsed or not, but you had to leave the stage.
Well, the thing is this, I tell you what happened. I did opening night in Otello, of Otello, 25 years to the date precisely, exactly, since I did my very first Otello at La Scala. And that for me already was very emotional to say, my God, 25 years later, I'm still able to do the opening night with the same opera. And the first evening was a triumph, was a phenomenal success. And then the next day, I was having some appointments with Zeffirelli to hear some singers, and I went to Busetto because I was going to conduct Traviata, and I was so happy and so on. Then maybe, you know, I went into all the beautiful region, you know, with all the Regione Emiliana, and I was, you know, eating a little bit too much of salt, probably. You know, they put you one plate, another one. And then I have my next performance, my second performance, and you know what it is to arrive to the theater and feel already, oh my God, just like I've Mount Everest in front of you. Yeah. And I start the performance, and in the middle of the second act, I feel that I couldn't do it. So what has happened with so much salt, and so my blood pressure has gone up.
Right.
And the doctors, which was my personal doctor there, and the doctor of the theater said, Mr. Domingo, we don't think you should go out. We recommend you...
Don't start the performance.
No, they told me, stop the performance.
So you're already performing when you felt...
Yes, stop the performance, but I said, no, I have to go. And I went and I sang third and fourth acts. Then I give up one performance because I said I should rest. And then I did the last one exactly like the opening night. Yeah. So that was the story, and I'm very happy that I did it 25 years later. You know, my what I supposedly now to be my last Otellos at La Scala.
You think so? That was your last
Otello? At La Scala. I did it already with the Washington Opera in Japan.
Oh, that's right.
And I'm planning to do it again. I think I will do it. I will do it again in Washington, and I plan so. God help me. I hope that my last role at the Metropolitan will be still Otello. When that will be, yes.
So will you go to the great houses?
Pardon me?
Will you take, you know, there's a kind of, there's an expression in America that they use sometimes, they call it a victory lap. You know?
I see, to go to the great...
So you go ahead.
Funny you mentioned, because it is very strange. I have always put the question in my mind, I said, the day then you will think of retiring, what are you going to do? Are you going to do that?
Yes.
I mean, are you going to go, you know, the victory round? Right. I mean, like you go to every other opera house, at least the main opera houses, then they have mean something for you.
And redo whatever your most brilliant performance was, if it was Otello or whatever it was.
That, or rather, one day just go out in front of the public and say, ladies and gentlemen, tonight has been my last performance. And I don't know what the answering is to that question, you know.
Yeah.
I think that if I feel fine, and I feel with the same spirit, the same passion, and my condition is good, I think I might plan my retirement. Yeah. But if I feel of it a sudden that I'm lacking that, then one day I might just go and say, ladies and gentlemen, that was it, you know. But at the moment I have plans, specifically with the Met, especially, which is the longer plans. We have plans until the season 2006-07, you know. So that's
so you're booked to 2006-07.
7, yeah. That's as far as I want to be. So
that's 5 years.
In 2006, I will be 65.
Yeah. So
maybe that will be prudent. But I don't promise anything. It all depends how the voice will feel.
What do you do to take care of the voice?
I think the most important thing, you know, for instance, I have now matinee of Andrea Chenier, and day after tomorrow.
Yes.
We are taping this program, and I have to keep quiet from tonight on already. You know, tonight.
Don't talk a lot. Don't.
I sang last night, and you know, it's unusual Wednesday and then matinee Saturday. It would be better if it was Tuesday and then Saturday, but. It's so little time, and with the things that you do during the day, you know. I think tomorrow I don't go out of the house. I watch. Yeah. I study. I watch baseball. And,
baseball.
Know, and that's it. Yes.
Do you enjoy conducting?
I do.
Do you? I enjoy it
a lot, very much, very much. I think that it is a completely extension of my career as a musician. You know, I mean, I certainly would like to be a conductor before even a singer, and
what?
Yes, but I realized that I have a voice.
Yeah.
And then
you have a talent.
Then
good.
Yes,
yeah, right.
And the conducting, it comes every day, comes more natural.
Yeah.
Every day, the most I do it, the most satisfaction it gives me, and you know, it is a beautiful thing to make sound an orchestra just like it is one person, like they are making an absolutely incredible sound, and you anticipate in your mind and really comes out.
Do you believe, I mean, do you ever think about how good you could have been as a conductor if you didn't have the singing career and spent all the time that any great conductor spends?
I don't want to be false modest, but I think I will be.
You would have been
I will be in the same place like I am as a singer now. Absolutely.
Because, why?
Because I have the
gift
feeling.
Of music.
I have the feeling. I know the music. I will be every day doing the same thing, you know. And the only thing that I believe that I can improve, which is I am already clear on the beat. I can improve the aesthetics about my conducting. I can improve. I am self-critical, you know. I know now that technically, you can talk to the orchestras that I conduct the most, like Washington, Los Angeles, when and a lot at the Met also. Every day, I'm more clear. Nobody can have doubts about the technique. I think aesthetically, I can improve. I can really improve aesthetically, because when I see myself conducting, I say, I would like more flexibility. But in any case, one thing I am obtaining, and the most when I'm able to work a lot of rehearsals with the orchestra, is the sound that I'm expecting from them to come, you know. And that gives you a lot of satisfaction, you know.
Why do you do both D.C. and Los Angeles?
I tell you why. I believe by now I won't be singing anymore.
Oh, so in other words, when you accepted these positions, you thought by now I wouldn't be singing?
I accept Washington.
Yeah.
And then I have been involved in opera in Los Angeles since start.
Yeah.
I was member of the board already there. First, I was in the early times when the City Opera used to go with Beverly Seals and myself, Norman Traeger. Yeah. We used to sing the first performances, and they were sang at the music pavilion in Los Angeles. So I was involved since very early in my career, 66. And then when I was at the board in the Olympics, when the Olympics games, I went with Covent Garden to sing Turandot in Los Angeles. And then some friends said, Placido, you have to get involved with us. Yeah. We really need you here, and we have to make something happening. And I went as member of the board. It was a decision, and we need a director, and then Peter Hemmings, which just passed away last year, was the director of the opera. And he stars in 86, and in 86, I was kind, and I said kind because obviously it was just my duties. They were not very big, but I started as an advisor to Peter. And we did wonderful things together. And it was kind of following a step that they said, when Peter will step out, maybe Placido can do it. Yeah. So by that time, I have been so involved with the opera company that it was a logical step. Yeah. It was a logical step, so when Peter retires, and which he was retiring hopefully to be with his family in England, enjoying it of his beautiful family, but destiny wants, it was different, you know. And so I started 2.5 years ago, I started there, and then I couldn't say it no to one or to the other. So it was a matter of being involved in both companies, and I'm very happy to be involved with them, and we are working wonderfully, and I'm looking forward, you know.
Can you continue both?
Honestly, this is the only thing that I resent is that I dedicate a lot of time to both companies, lots of responsibilities, and because of that, I don't go enough to Europe, for instance, to the European houses. Yes. So practically my time with this year is different. I have forced myself to go more to Covent Garden, to Vienna, to at least Madrid, Barcelona, and La Scala, you know, to have 4 or 5 theaters, because otherwise I spent all my time between the Met, Washington, and Los Angeles. And I thought it was going to be that way because I thought I wouldn't be singing. But I am singing still. And now I have committed myself. So when you have committed to something, you have to accomplish, you know. So that's the way that it is, sometimes I said, oh God, I mean, I don't have enough time to sing here or there, which is a long time I haven't been, and so on. But it's my great satisfaction, you know, to have been already 6 years in Washington and 2.5 in Los Angeles.
Do you have time for recitals?
Recitals, very little. Yeah. I tell you why. I have done some, but I think that could be part of a later career. I think once I won't sing opera, I will be able to do more of the kind. And that if I select a certain amount of recitals, a certain amount of concerts, after I retire from opera, the voice is fresh.
Right.
I can do my duties as directing both houses and, of course, cut my amount of performing.
The Los Angeles Opera did not perform War and Peace. A big disappointment for you?
Well, it's a big disappointment always if something is not happening, you know. But on the other hand, you have to understand that sometimes there are problems, and you cannot afford to do it, you know. And actually, the public has taken it very well. And I tell you how destiny it is. We have had a further problem now with that adventure of the Kirov, and I tell you what it is. The production that we are going to do instead of War and Peace is Lady Macbeth of Shostakovich, which Valery Gergiev will conduct, and sharing the podium also with the son of the son of Shostakovich. Yes. Dmitri Shostakovich is going to conduct also. But let me tell you how the irony of all this is just unbelievable. The whole production with costumes arrived in a ship just about 2 weeks to Los Angeles. Strike, as you know, that it has only been resolved now.
Right,
the ship went back to Tokyo. Now, it's going to arrive the ship in Tokyo, and they are going to send us the costumes by air, and we have to build the scenery for the Lady Macbeth in Los Angeles. If this will be War and Peace now, we will have to add to our already tremendous, dangerous season. We will have to add at least $600,000 more of building War and Peace rather than Lady Macbeth. So at the end, everything happens for the best, and it has been at the end a bless. So what can you do? I mean, it was a disappointment, yes. Of course, it was a disappointment. But when
But in the end, you have a...
Yes, we say it in Spanish, when it cannot be, and besides, it's impossible.
Yeah, and they say... And in America, they say, when you close the door, the window opens.
Absolutely. We have to find the best solution.
Finally, these are sacred songs. Did you pick these? These are your choices? I mean, everything from Richard Rodgers to you singing Ave Maria, Richard Wagner, Felix Mendelssohn, Ye people, rend your hearts if fall your hearts. I mean, there's some of the most famous sacred songs and most beloved sacred songs. I mean, how many Ave Marias are there here?
Well, there are
I see
quite a lot.
4 right here.
Because I see one is the intermezzo from Cavalleria Rusticana, which is maybe wrongly called Ave Maria because it starts by Ave Maria.
There's a Schubert.
Then there is the Schubert,
No, I mean then Bach, right.
And then there is another one that my son wrote, Placido
Placido Jr.
Yes,
right.
Which is an Ave Maria in Spanish.
Yeah.
And I think there are the only 3, no?
No, that's a 3. Yeah, right. Three.
And then there is music by Rossini, which is from the Petit Maison.
Rossini and Deus. Right.
And there is music of Tosti, Handel. I mean, it's Wagner. It's an amazing amount of different composers, which I believe the sacred music kind of put you into a relaxed mood, you know. And I think that sometimes nowadays we need that kind of relaxing mood, you know, to meditate and to think.
That's a meditative pose you'd strike there too.
Oh yes, that's right. Yes, it was. We started to take the pictures, and I was listening to the music, and apparently I was concentrated.
Thank you for coming. It's great to see you always.
It's nice to see you, Charlie.
Much success at the Metropolitan.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Placido Domingo, thank you for joining us this evening. We'll see you next time.